let's get you the very latest. So twists and turns in Maharashtra politics unending. Now the Shiv Sena has decided to support the NDA's presidential candidate Droupadi Murmu, and by Shiv Sena we mean the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena has decided to support Droupadi Murmu. Now this is an interesting political development that is in fact taking place. It has of course a lot of ramifications. Now what really does this mean? Remember, yesterday Uddhav Thackeray met with members of parliament. Of course, there was a diminished strength. Not all MPs were present at the meeting. That in itself, remember, sending out a huge message. Now sources have indicated that the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena as well has decided to support Droupadi Murmu. This is of course a request that was made by party MPs at the meeting with Uddhav Thackeray. We reported this story and broke it for you first here on NDTV, saying that Shiv Sena MPs who met with Uddhav Thackeray yesterday in a diminished strength though had demanded that the candidature of the NDA presidential candidate Droupadi Murmu should be supported by the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena as well. Now we're learning via highly placed sources that the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena has indeed decided to support Droupadi Murmu. So several questions at the moment, viewers, that really need to be answered. What are the implications for this on the Maha Vikas Aghadi alliance? Remember, the NCP and the Congress have decided to stand by the Shiv Sena, despite the fact that the government has fallen. There has been a vertical split in the Shiv Sena, with the Uddhav Thackeray faction actually numerically in the minority. It's going to be really interesting to see how the NCP reacts to this, how the Congress reacts to this, because remember, as far as the opposition candidate is concerned, it is Yashwant Sinha. The Congress and the NCP, who are allies of Uddhav Thackeray, are backing Yashwant Sinha. With Uddhav Thackeray now deciding to back Droupadi Murmu, what happens to the future of the Maha Vikas Aghadi alliance going forward? So far, they continue to be in an alliance despite the political developments in Maharashtra. What really is going to happen? How do the numbers now stack up in favor of Yashwant Sinha? How does this further embolden the candidature of Droupadi Murmu? All of these are questions that we will look to answer very closely. The Shiv Sena at the moment has decided that it is going to extend support to Droupadi Murmu. This is what we are learning via highly placed sources. And like I said, this is an interesting political development that is taking place. There were only, if I'm not mistaken, 12 out of the 19 Shiv Sena members of parliament who met with Uddhav Thackeray yesterday. So question marks over where the rest of the MPs were, why they were absent from the meeting. Also, we're learning via highly placed sources that the members of parliament requested, the Shiv Sena MPs requested Uddhav Thackeray that he needs to go ahead and extend support to the NDA presidential candidate. Now, Uddhav Thackeray, who is still in alliance with the NCP and the Congress in Maharashtra, has decided, according to highly placed sources, that he will support Droupadi Murmu. How does the NCP and the Congress view these political developments? It's a story that we will continue to track. Also, is there now perhaps a bigger question mark on the MVA alliance than there was in the past?